Hi guys, welcome to another Computing Corner video. In this video we're going to be setting up Windows NT 3.51. Now it practically runs in exactly the same way as it did before in 3.5, but there's a little bit of a difference, and I'll go through that as we go through this. So we'll do a custom setup and then we'll sort everything out. That's going to need this 3 already. This will be the last version of Windows where you're setting it up requires a floppy disk. There we go. This is taking some time. Yeah. And we'll go from CD-ROM, cancel and do a new install because I've set it all up to test it out. I'm just testing it all out. So the above list matches what I've selected. I've used 335 megabytes. That's interesting. We'll format that as FAT. So that's going to take a bit of a while because we're just getting rid of what's on it. And with the NT 3.5, that's just going to check all the disks. And then we're just going to go through that as well. And then we'll restart. Oh, hang on a moment, I've got to take the disk out. That takes care of that. And this is what the setup looks like now. So we're heading towards Windows 95. So let's just type everything up. Bear with me a moment, guys. There we go. Right, let's just carry on with this. And then this is going to want a product key. No, it's not. I take it because it's an upgrade. NT 351 test. Yeah, that's fine. And obviously I'm going to want to change that to the UK. At least it's now showing up as the UK. That's one of the main differences. So that's what we're looking at the moment, 3 megabytes or thereabouts. Yeah. And then we'll just click continue as such. I'm going to name the printer printer. And I'm going to click continue because now it's detecting a network adapter card, which hopefully means I might be able to connect to the internet. Also, while I'm at it, And then just look at that, click continue. Don't think there's anything there that we can look at. Yeah, I want to continue. And then we'll click OK. And now, because this is a CD install, you get to see what's going on. That then does your network settings, which I'm going to click OK. I'll do that as well. We're going to enable it automatically. Bet you this doesn't work. It did work. So now going through all the user groups. And I'm not going to go for a local account this time, because I've done that and I've done it before and I've got hit with an immediate time restriction. I'm going to swap that to the C drive. This will be the last. I would say this is the last version of Windows to have that set up. I certainly don't remember seeing it after this. Let's click continue. That's all sorted out. I'm going to automatically adjust. That's come up with the American format. That is interesting. That's going to change as well. Don't want an emergency disk. Let's restart the computer. And there we go. That's all sorted. So join me back in a bit. Just going to sign in. And I'm going to sort everything else out. Join me back in a bit after this. And I'm back. And wow, this comes to show that after all that hard work, that this is finally paid off. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back down. We're going to do, not that because that's too big, but if we go down to 1600 by 1200, that then becomes true color. And then we'll test that. That's what it looks like. And then you get to see how tiny 640 by 480 is. That needs restarting. And instead of the Windows logo being all white, this is what you're greeted with when it hurries up and loads. There you go. So you've got some colour to the logo. First time I've seen true colour in Windows NT 3.5, even 3.51. Now let's come to personalising it. Now I normally do this off screen because I know exactly what I'm going for. Let's go for beziers and do arches. But before we do that, I just wanted to show you what the 256 colour bitmap looks like, just like that. Of course, I forgot to tile it. Do But then let's go for Arches because that's the one I typically would go for. Also, this is the last version of Windows to have the Program Manager because then the Start menu was introduced in Windows 95, which we will look at in 2 episodes' time. That is much more like it. Another thing I wanted to look at while I think about it, let's cancel out of that. And that. And this is I want to be able to upgrade to Windows NT 3.5. Well, I've got 3.51, but I want to be able to upgrade to Service Pack 5. There are some service packs to this system, 5 of them. As a matter of fact, it's 5 of them. So I'm going to go into my downloads, go into Service Pack 5, restart the computer, and then have a look at what to expect. But that didn't work because it's not, that one's not a bootable disk. That one is though. But it won't show up as Service Pack 5. But we know that, just know that I am updating it to Service Pack 5. And then we'll click enter, we'll do a custom setup. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. That's fine as well. We'll do an upgrade to that and then that. That's why we got, just to sort this out. Let's see, is there a floppy disk in? No. So that's going to say boot, press any key to boot from CD, which I don't want to do. There further comes the proof that we are looking at Service Pack 5 because we've now got this form of font. And look at this, so we're just upgrading everything. And now you need a product key. Don't want to repair disk either, so I'll click no, and then restart. So we've done all of that. Now that I've done all this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to install all the other software off screen, despite what I said in my notes. I'm going to install all the other software off screen because I want to be able to test everything and then just install everything as well. So join me back in a bit after I've set all the software up. And we're back, and with this in mind, I've just installed Visual Studio off screen, I mean Visual Basic even, and we're just about to set up Works 3, which is one of those that has a CD installed. So click install. We just need to type up the information like such. Click OK. This has a serial number, which it's one that's automatically generated. And we'll click yes for that one. And I think in this case, I'm just going to shorten it down to Microsoft Works for Windows. I'm going to do a custom installation, so you get to see exactly what we've got. So you've got your program and setup files, which is all of the program files necessary to run Works. And then you've got clip art gallery, clip art, Microsoft Word art, Note it, Microsoft Draw, and all the other filters. There's your proofing tools, text converters, cue cards, tutorials, work wizards, and templates. Let's click continue. And I'm going to make that just Microsoft Works. If it will let me, that is. And yeah, we've got enough space. Although this will be the last version of Windows to have a 2 GB hard drive, because I'm going to go up to 4 for Windows NT4. So we'll just sort that out. And then after we've done this, we'll look at the starting of the installing of Microsoft Office 4.3, because there's an extra program that came with that you wouldn't see in Office 4.2, and we'll have a look at that once it's all installed. We just want to sort this out first. Setup is updating the system. Yeah, it just says Microsoft Works, because I find that Works for Windows is too long-winded, so I then just shortened it down to Microsoft Works. Next thing I want to look at is do the start of Office. So I shall do that, and then I'll do front page, project, and Visio off screen, for reasons that there's 19 floppy disks to deal with. You've got front page that needs 8 floppy disks, project needs 6, and Visio needs 5. So I'll do all of those off screen, so you don't have to see me faff about 4 disks. But for now, let's have a look at Office 4.3, the CD form of it. Because I want to be able to show you what is entailed in that. That's what it looks like. You've also got bookshelf as well with this. That's fine. And there's a product key as well. And then again, we'll have a look at the custom install, so then you get to see. So there's, you saw PowerPoint, Excel, Word. Oh no, that wasn't that. There's Access. There's the new program I wanted to show you, which I will do once I've set it all up. Bookshelf as well. So we won't have all of the features of Bookshelf, but then if you have another look, you've got Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Access, and all the other things that you need. It's about 135 megabytes. I shall divide that by 1024 and then give you the exact amount. There it is. So we want that to that, and then we want so it's about 141 megabytes or 134 megabytes. I'll switch it back to the basic calculator, and then we'll click continue, and that says Microsoft Excel includes support for people familiar with Lotus 123. No, I don't want that. Your graphs will be updated automatically to Microsoft Graph 5 when you edit them. Yeah, that's fine. Help for WordPerfect users. Yeah, that's fine as well. Do you want Quick Shove to automatically load automatically with Windows? Yes. Yeah. That's fine as well. Now, front page and Visio, but Visio is definitely on its own. The Visio is definitely on its own group still. Front page is on its own group, but Project has at this point been integrated into the full Microsoft Office. You just have to install it separately. So once you've done that, it will then go into Microsoft Office. The only ones that won't at the moment are Front Page and Visio, which they'll later be incorporated into Office. So that's just installing at the moment. Join me back in a bit though, as I will just install the rest of it off screen, and then we'll be able to have a look at the fun bits that are due to come from Microsoft Access. I've got a database lined up for that. And I'm back, and with all the programs installed, we can now start working on them. But the one thing I do wanted to look at in particular is going into the admin tools. This virtual machine might be a bit slow. The mouse is a bit laggy. I just need to rename the volume of my hard drive, because we've got disk admin. This is where it was sort of introduced in the NT3 series, because you've had it in 3.1 and then you had it again in 3.5, and this is a part of 3.5, so it just sort of makes sense to have that. I've just renamed that to DMC Windows. I'll be able to give that a full proper name as part of the personalizing of this, but you'll be able to look at that as well. But you've also got your performance monitor as normal, but then there's the NT diagnostics as well. So if you look at the OS version of that, it says Windows, that's what it gives you, the OS version of that. And you can you actually, no, you can't. I thought you could change that. You've got a 1000 separator in the build number, which I find to be rather interesting. Version number 3.51. And then you've got all of that bit there as well. What I don't understand is this has got 256 megabytes of RAM, which I personally think might be a bit much for NT 3.51. If I'm being honest, there is such thing as having too much RAM, but never mind. Another thing I wanted to look at is we've seen Microsoft Works in action, so I didn't want that. I wanted to have a look at Access. So we've now got Access, which is there, but also Project has added itself to this folder, as I mentioned earlier in this video. You've also got Microsoft Imager, which we will have a look at. We'll have a look at that now. So this will allow you to sort any pictures out that you might have put onto the hard drive, and then you can just edit them wherever it's needed. But since I don't have any pictures, that actually was a waste of time. You also have a money demo as well. Running a bit slow, but it still works. Let's come out of that. Because that will come as part of Microsoft Works. But we now want to go into Access. And then we can get rid of that because you can see what's going on. Because I'll just go through that. I'll just type up what we need. And now, of course, because I've got a bigger screen, we'll be able to see more of it on there, on the screen. We'll go to the DMC Studios. We'll go into the filing cabinet. What I'll do before I set up Windows NT4 is I'll test it all out, but also at the same time, so I'll sort out all the files that I've already got to see if they work, and if they don't, I'll put them into an old Windows folder from before. I'll just put it into an old folder if I can't upgrade. We want Win so far, and this gives you the chance to do tables, a query, form, report, a macro, and even a module. So let's start with a table. That's what it looks like. We want then Windows OS, and that's a text field, and then you've also then got, just trying to think of what else there was. So it was year released, which was not that one. I want it to be date and time, because we'll format that to year. I'll test that out. Hard drive, I'll just shorten that down to HDD. RAM and cores. And the way to install it, because in that way we can then, if we go for long text, let's do for text, we'll update that to, we'll keep that at 50. And then with that, I'm hoping this will save it. This might not let me keep the 6. No, so the primary key, this is what happens in Access. You have to assign, you are given the choice to assign a primary key. We don't have one in this stage. We can save more than 8 characters to a table, which is what we've got there. We can now do a form. Which I'm hoping will cover all of that. So we'll then do go up to there for a moment, because what I want to do is just do, I'm going to add in an option group quite so early. because then we want the label names we want to have that, and then we have that which we'll click next on. We actually are going to press cancel because we don't need any of that. We'll look at that. And then we'll add in labels. That's a text box, that's a toggle button. Where do I find the label? That's the label. My mouse has once again escaped from the virtual machine, and you can't undo it either. I've already undone it. But yeah, my mouse has escaped from the virtual machine. And then we'll add in a text box. I am going to have a look at this to see how this works. I just want to have a look at that. That's what the form looks like. We've got a full field there as well, which isn't good. How do I go about getting rid of that? Unless, of course, if we go back to the form design, we can use that. Let's get rid of that. Field 4. Let me just, I think I might come out of that because I need some more experience with that before I go any further. Let's come out of that. But I will have a look at my table which is there. So we want then it's a shame you can't change that. But I do want to lengthen that out. There's the table design. I want to make that Microsoft Windows Server. I'll make that 70. I'll make that 100. I think would be a good idea. And I'll go to the data sheet. Of course, I'm going to save it because then that way we can be rest assured that that's going to fit. Year released 1985. Okay, I'm going to have to go back to this one as well. And just make that text. Or I'll just, I'll just do a text, otherwise it's just, and I'm going to include other notes as well, just for the sake of it, and then I'll just add 450 to that. Okay, I can't. So in that case, then I'll just do 250. And then we'll go into data sheet again. Pardon me. I knew that was going to happen. Year release, 1985. I want to make that left aligned. I want to make that right aligned. Which I think you won't. I don't think you're able to do. Let's try it in number form and see what that does to it. We'll save that as well. Okay, well that's going to come up with a 0. HDD is 2 gigabytes, of course. RAM's 4 meg. Cores 1. And then the installation was. I have to try and remember what that is. Yeah, floppy disks. And that would be the start of things. Just trying to remember how many floppy disks there were to Windows 1. Let me just have a look at that a moment. I will complete the rest of this off screen because you've got the gist as to what is to be expected, but I need to work out how many floppy disks each one has. I'm trying to remember. So 5. So it's either 5 or 7. We'll do 5 because we did 1.01. We'll do, so say 5. We'll do 5. And then we'll just move that out as well. And then we'll do Microsoft Windows 2. 1987 again, that's 2 gig, 4 meg. It was 16 meg I put on that one. Floppy disks. I will see how many that was. We'll just see what that was. And yeah, I'll do that. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do the rest of this off screen. So I'll save that. And I'll exit out of that. And then if you go into the file manager, you'll see where that's ended up. So up to 389 kilobytes. And then I'll put them onto a floppy and then just work with that. I don't think it's, yeah, we've got Microsoft database and the works one. So I'll just pick the best one and I'll pick the best ones and I'll pick the best one and archive the other 2. The next thing I want to look at, I've kept that open so I know exactly what I'm using up. We want to have a look at bookshelf. An error has occurred in your application. And okay, that's not good. Well, it worked that time. This is what bookshelf looks like. I mean, look at this. Yeah, all of that, no smoking zone. Murmur, let's see what. You've got your murmur. This is going to be fun. I mean, look at all of this stuff. Music, musical. Carry on. Yeah, I'm going to. I just couldn't resist. To all the Professor Snapes out there that are doing their counter curse, this is the best entry for you. Right, let's come out of bookshelf before I've got any of them going, breathing down my neck like a Green Gox dragon. So the next thing I wanted to look at was, there's some other bits I wanted to look at while we're staying in Microsoft Office. We've even got a PowerPoint viewer as well. Seeing what Microsoft Word looks like in Office 4.2. There is not enough memory to run Word. What the hell? Exactly how much RAM does this machine need? Let's try Excel. So Excel works. I might have to open up one of my doc files. Good job I've got this one open. No, there's not enough memory to run Word. This virtual machine has got 256 megabytes of RAM. How much more can I give it? Yeah, we've got 256 megabytes of RAM. Which is, I think, is the absolute maximum you can get in Windows NT 3.51. Let's have a look at PowerPoint to see if that runs. That runs. Well, you can be safe to assume that with this one, you can be safe to assume that what you get here is what you would have got in the previous version of Word, but still couldn't believe it's saying it doesn't have enough memory. And that one would have run slowly as well. Let's have a look at project. I think I might have to double up the RAM that I give. I might have to double up the RAM that I give to, what do we call it, to Windows NT4. Might have to upgrade that to 512 megabytes. This is what project looks like. And that gives you the automatic 1 day. Although that's slow, that's running quite slow as well. How's that? That's 1 day. That's interesting. What about 3 hours? That's showing up as half a day. Not going to save that either. So the only thing that didn't work out of that was Microsoft Word. which is mad, but there you go. Another thing I wanted to look at is front page, because you can do front page editor. And then we go like that. And then we'll go to save as, because you can save that as an HTML file. I'm wondering if at this point, if I click cancel, I've got a page that I've saved to HTML. Which doesn't work, but we can associate that now with front page, if we can find it. Front page explorer. Front page. Oh, this is going to be fun. File not found. Oh, that is rubbish. Right, we'll just have to click cancel on that one then, and we'll cancel on that as well. Never mind, so we'll just come out of that, and I'll sort everything off screen, just putting it onto transfer disk as well. Next thing I want to look at, next thing I want to look at is just adding to my paint picture. I don't know why I closed it off. Why I closed off the main one, because I need my D drive again. And look at that. Right, join me back in a bit because I need to take care of a few bits. I won't be long, guys. And I'm back. And with that in mind, I've just had to take care of some business. With that in mind, we can now just have a look at, we'll close this off because we don't need this now. Unless we already know what Schedule Plus looks like, so we won't need to look at it again. But spoiler alert, this then gets integrated into Microsoft Office. So this will be the last version of Windows to have Schedule Plus integrated into it, because with the next one it then becomes integrated into Microsoft Office, and then it later becomes Outlook. But we'll have a look at going into Paint. So I think we needed to have a look at on that. And then I'll maximize it. I mean, look at this. And then we'll have to open it up. We'll go into DMC Windows, DMC Studios, and then we'll go into the filing cabinet, which then gives me this one. And look at this. I mean, that is tiny. compared to what we had before. But we now have a rich array of colours. Let's see how I perform on this one. Go to the middle. One is always the one sort of in the middle. Yeah, it gets rid of the whole lot as well. This still gets rid of the whole lot. Instead of the one move that you were looking for. Let me just try that again. And then I'll just put that in. Yeah, that gets rid of the whole lot. I'm going to change the colour for that as well because that looks a bit too light. Let's go for this one, I think. There we go, that's a bit better. It's amazing how each program has evolved over the years. I mean, I'm amazed by the fact that I'm able to take everyone down memory lane with this. And that's what it looks like. It's a lot better. It's a lot more neater, certainly, than what happened in 3.1. You can see the difference already. That's what the square looks like. This one's coloured. That one's just a coloured outline. I'm still using the same blue, which comes in handy at some point because I'm going to turn this into a little TV. Now, if I knew that I was going to do that, I would have filled it in straight off the bat. And then I'm going to paint it here. And then we just look at that. And then I'll bring in a coloured circle, which you can't do if you're painting in white. But I'll use this one instead. Which is brilliant. And then I'll pop in a yellow bit in there as well. Now, interestingly enough, that's come up as a white outline. I wanted it in black. Yeah, let's redraw that smiley face. There we go. That is much more like it, even though I've given them really rather weird looking eyes. Okay, so we're going to come out of that now because I've just saved it. And now we're going to go into a game, so I can now close off that, and then we go into the games as well. No, not the next. I want to close this and then go into games. I've got some unfinished business with Minesweeper. Oh, shoot. The corner pieces I always tend to go for. Just, there's a 3 there. Oh, no. I suspected it was one of those two. Oh, no. Please don't be a corner. Okay. Ah! The 2 are stuck together. Right, we've got a 2 there. I'm just thinking. Ah, no! We'll do one more game, and then I'll move on to something else. Okay, well, there's definitely 1, and there's another 2. There's another 1. That's going to be 2. Oh, no! I was so close as well. Right, we'll do one more, and then I'm going to have to move on. Ah, balls. Never mind. That didn't go too well. So we'll just close it off. And look back at something else I wanted to look at. Yeah, Visio. Skip the tour and continue. We can do a forms template. That gives you everything that you need. Which then, interestingly enough, does not give you the tools to do an actual Windows form. Not really doing anything at all. I guess it's because you have to drag and drop. There's the info box. Like that. But I'm going to have a look at that later on down the line because there's not really much here. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.